Dear brothers and sisters, welcome to our today's program, NJO LEO of the 4th of September 2018. My name is Odon Bulamba. I'm going to share with you some information, some news about the Congo, and at the end of it, I'll pick up one topic where I will do a type of analysis so that you can understand, or we can help each other to understand what has been happening in the Congo or where we are heading up from here. Once again, welcome to our program, and without wasting a lot of time, let me tell you the main line of our today's news. First of all, our court in the Congo has decided, the Supreme Court has decided to reject the candidacy of Jean-Pierre Bemba and also that of Adolphe Muzito. On the other hand, the same court of law has decided to accept or to validate the candidacy of Sami Badibanga, the former Prime Minister of the Congo, and that of Ifoku, who both of them had a problem with their nationalities. So all the four candidates, all the few people that I've been just talking about, are candidates to the coming presidential elections of 2018, December the 23rd. The second point that I will talk about, it's about going back to school. Children all over the Congo have finished their holidays and it's time to go back to school. But some students didn't go to school because their parents don't have the ability, the means to pay for their studies and school. And some others did not go because teachers were absent from the school. And also some areas in the Congo, due to the war, schools are not operating. In North Kivu, we know that there's a lot which has been happening there. 15 militants of Lucha were somehow attacked. They were beaten up because they were doing a type of demonstration. Lucha organized a demonstration all over the country to prove or to ask the country, to ask the international opinion that if possible, our wish is that we shouldn't use that machine to vote, or voting machine, and we should also go through the checking to make sure that those who have been holding those electoral cards or electoral IDs without their digital printing, without their fingerprinting being recorded, those cases should be reviewed. So for that reason, Lucha organized the demonstration, and that demonstration went bad in Goma and also in Bukavu. Those who wanted to perform their demonstration in Bukavu were stopped and it didn't take place. In Lubumbashi, also on the 1st of September, there was a problem, a coalition between the people of the Ensemble pour le Changement. It's a political part of Katumbi Moïse with the police. So they had a clash, and that clash led to a death. One person lost his life during that clash, and more than 20 people were under arrest. In Ituri also, a malicious group of Mai Mai came down and they have attacked an area where people dig gold, dig mining. And during that attack, they killed 3 people, 1 woman and 2 men. Then those malicious people left the area, taking everything that they could, and they took a group of people of them in the bush. But later on, after a few hours, those people were released. And finally, in the South Kivu, MONUSCO, which is a UN peacekeeping force in the Congo, have built a market at Momosho, and that market is to promote the cohabitation or the living together between the people of Rwanda, Burundi, and Congo. They want that market to be like a symbol of peace, which will bring together those 3 nations. So those are the main lines that I will talk about, and without delaying, let me go to the main point. So the court in the Congo have decided to maintain the candidacy of Sami Badibanga and that of Marie-Josée Ifoko on one hand, and on the other hand, they rejected that of Adolphe Muzito as well as that of Jean-Pierre Bemba. That decision has just come up. The decision to reject Adolphe Muzito is that Adolphe Muzito left PALU, his former political party, and according to the court, he didn't supply enough information, enough proof to show that he organized himself, first of all, with his PALU before to quit that party. So he didn't sufficiently prove that he deserved to quit that party before to join the other party, which he represents as a candidate, as a presidential candidate. On the other hand, Jean-Pierre Bemba was also, his candidacy was rejected because he has got that problem with the International Court, and they believe that because he had that issue with the International Court, then there is no way he can be a candidate for this coming presidential, which will take place in 23rd of December 2018. So, if we go to the second part of our news, children yesterday, all children all over the country, primary school children, they were supposed to go back to school. That was the end of the holiday. Unlikely, many schools didn't have a good attendance of children. One, because parents don't have the means to pay the fees to pay for their children. Secondly, schools give a list of things that parents must have, a must-have list of things that parents should purchase before their children start to study. And thirdly, in some schools, teachers also were not there because they don't have salaries. So they have been complaining, and they gave to the government a few requirements before they continue to teach, but the government didn't respond to their needs. So those are the three main reasons why many children didn't start the school yesterday. However, in other provinces where, for example, in North Kivu, where Ebola has been striking, children from there, many parents preferred to keep their children home rather than to send them to school in the fear that they can be contaminated with that virus of Ebola. However, some schools said, look, although the Ebola is there, you can send your children to school and we have taken our precautions. We will protect them. We will do our best for your kids to be safe while at school. Other areas in the Congo where the war is going on, many parents didn't allow their children to go to school. This is specifically in Masisi. In Masisi, children don't go to school because they're living in a war zone where things do not work for the favor or the safety of the population. However, we have to say that although the school didn't go on, some people or other people from around the country, they left their houses and to go outside. On the 1st of September, in Lubumbashi, people of Ensemble pour le Changement, the political party of Moses Katumbi, have decided to go out to demonstrate. Although they asked the government for permission to do so, the government have said they didn't see that permission and the police intervened. So by intervening, as you can imagine, there was like a fight between the police and the civils or population, and it ended up by one gentleman to lose his life, and the person was killed during those problems, during that confrontation. Many people were injured, and to another point where I mean, according to Kyungwa Kumwanza, who is one of the leaders of that Ensemble pour le Changement, he said his lorry, his truck was carrying chairs, his truck was carrying sound systems, his truck was carrying a few things, tables and so on, to go to put them somewhere where they should do their demonstration. But the police stopped that truck, blocked it, and confiscated everything. All the content of the truck, which was in the truck, was taken away. But the police has denied that allegation, and the police said, no, that's not true. In the truck, in the back of the truck were only tires that the demonstrators were planning to burn in order to stop the police to come close to them. We are crossing the other side of the country where we go to North Kivu. In North Kivu, as well as other provinces, Lucha has organized a demonstration yesterday, and that demonstration was supposed to be done all over the country. The reason of that demonstration was to say no to the voting machine, and also to say no for those who are holders of the electoral cards or IDs, who obtained them illegally, they shouldn't vote. By organizing that demonstration, of course, in some areas of the country, the demonstration went smoothly and was fine, but in other countries, it didn't work well. Specifically in North Kivu, where 15 militants were injured during that repression of the police, and in Bukavu, they did not even start because the police force was everywhere and blocked the population of Bukavu to start that demonstration. In Ituri, the group of Mai Simba have attacked a mine concession, and they went there on Sunday morning around 1 p.m. Sorry, on Sunday around 1 p.m. Those people came down, firing by the way that the people did not know what to take with them. They left everything, running for their safety. So those militias of Mai Simba took everything with them. They took also a number of people, and they forced them to carry whatever they stole from the population into the mountain with them. Thanks to God, those people who were taken were released safely. So after a few hours, they came back to the community, and they were not killed or they were not hurt at all. But those Mai Simba, that group of militias, this is the second time they come down to this mining area to rob, to loot, and to steal from people. In the same context, I wanted just to remind you that Kabila has been creating those groups, those movements, rebellious movement, in order to destabilize the nation, to destabilize the population, and to create a big fear in the mind of the population. Because when we fear, when the country is not stable, it will be almost impossible to go for the election or to focus on his departure. Mostly we'll focus on our safety and we'll forget about Kabila and what he has been doing. A few weeks ago, he had only 89 malicious group, but actually malicious group, now we have got more than 100, so we have 110 groups created by Kabila, although some of them are groups that you call rebellious group, but most of them are working for him, and most of them are taking the name of Mai. Just to make sure and to clarify to you that there is a good group, which is a true Mai, who are there to support the population, but those bad militias, those one who are wrong, they will wear the name of Mai, but they are there to stress, to distress, and to kill and to destroy the population. In Mumosho is in Kabare, MONUSCO has decided to build a market, saying that that market will bring together peacefully the people of Rwanda, people of Congo, DRC, and the people of Uganda, of Burundi together. So their strategy is a good strategy. By having a market, those who are from Rwanda will come and sell, come and purchase. Those who are in Burundi will come and sell in that market or purchase, and vice versa. However, what I should maybe invite the MONUSCO to do, the United Nations peacekeepers to do, to build a peace in the Congo is not about building a small market of 100-meter squares or 200-meter squares and tell the population of Rwanda come, population of Burundi come to sell your item or purchase whatever you want to purchase in the Congo, and then everything will be fine? No, I think the true way to maintain peace will be to invite the leader of the Rwanda, leader of Uganda, Congo, Burundi, and others who have been attacking, occupying the Congo. Talk to them peacefully and ask them to leave Congo, or again to leave Congo alone. Because now, as I'm speaking, we all know the administration of Congo is now in Rwanda. Rwanda controls and leads the Congo. Behind Rwanda, we can have several countries, as you know. Everything must go through Uganda, everything must go through Rwanda, Burundi, and so on. So those are the countries which have caused the misery, have made the Congolese people miserable. And to maintain peace, to create that harmony, you people of MONUSCO, you have the abilities and capacities. You should maybe, first of all, talk to those leaders and ask them to leave Congo for Congolese. Why do they occupy Congo? We are not in colonialism anymore. We are not the servant of those countries who hide themselves behind Rwanda, Burundi, and Uganda. Please, if you need to maintain peace, if you want to promote peace, start from there. We will never have peace in a market if, you know, people are fighting every time. We won't have peace in the market if we can hear, you know, people dying every time like flies. And who are killing them? Their neighbors, who are crossing the border, taking their things by force, killing them and then raping them and then leaving. That won't help us at all. So people of MONUSCO will ask you to contact those actors first, fix the situation at the right level, and not continue just to distract the low-class people. Because what you are doing is just another type of distraction. Peace is better, we need peace, but please go to the root, the main root which has been destroying that peace. Start from there and peace will be there forever. So this will take me to the news analysis. I have to analyze now our news, and the one point that I will talk about is about the decision of the court, the constitutional court that Kabila put together in order to discuss all matters which are related to our coming election. This court was made by Kabila, for Kabila, and this court of law, the judges or the lawyers or then magistrates who are made, who are composing this, let me call it a political, so-called political movement, hiding itself under the judiciary system. This political system belongs to Kabila. All of us, we know it. And we understand how it functions. Together with CENI, which is the other group on the other side, the commission, Electoral Commission, National Electoral Commission, they work together. Although CENI called itself independent, no, they work together with the Cour constitutionnelle, and both of them are under the hand, under the armpit of Kabila. They do what Kabila tells them to do, when he wants them to be done, when he wants something to be done, and wherever he wants it to be done, they will do it. They are just like a remote controls that someone pushes the buttons and the channels change. And these people have been acting for Kabila and they'll continue to do so. Therefore, they took the decision to disqualify Jean-Pierre Bemba, to disqualify Adolphe Muzito, while they are accepting, the two as Sami Badibanga and Ifoko, who, Sami Badibanga especially, who was just a former prime minister who was working very well with Kabila, and people will use even to say that it was just like Kabila's puppet. And today, with the decision of the Cour constitutionnelle or the court of law, we find it unfair. It's not a true decision. Why am I saying that? One is they say that Muzito used to work for Palu, who used to belong to Palu. He was a member in Palu. another political party of Lumumbist. He has left that political party. And he was accused of leaving that political party, so there might be a conflict of interest somewhere. Therefore, he was called to go and sort it out. But already he quitted the party. The party has already excluded him indefinitely. So how can he go back and fix that while the party has said, we have rejected you, never and ever come back? Muzito explained to the court his situation, Court of Appeal, but the Court of Appeal didn't take his explanation into consideration. They say they were not convinced. On the other side, they say Bemba's got that problem with the court in La Haye, where they say that he had that issue of bribing, you know, people somehow, they called it, subordination of those who should testify. And by doing so, they believe that because the court in La Haye has decided to follow up that case with Bemba, then they said, okay, because you did this type of corruption, you bribed somewhere, therefore you are not eligible. Your candidacy is put aside, is rejected. But looking deeply on this matter, we'll find that, okay, they know very well that in Congo, there are members of the opposition, there are opposition leaders who are stronger. And when I'm talking about the strength, it's not only politically, but they have got also a large number of people behind them. And those political parties are, among them, to name a few, we have got MLC of Bemba, we have got Ensemble pour le Changement of Katumbi, there is UDPS of Tshisekedi, there is also a UNC of Kamere, and so on. So the weapons that Kabila has been using is, one of the weapons is to cut off those big parties, to destabilize them morally, mentally, psychologically, and politically. He started to bribe them from day one and remove some actors like Sami Badibanga. He was removed from UDPS. He joined Kabila. He worked for Kabila. And now Kabila is like, okay, enough is enough. He put him outside. He picked up another one who is actually working. He was also a member of UDPS and so on. And when he accepted Bemba to come back to the country, it was like maybe a way of looking around to see how famous is Bemba. And of course, you have seen images. Bemba was welcomed like a prince, like a king back home. And Kabila realized that, okay, he still have a popularity. He still have a majority of people behind him. So better to find a way to put him astray from the election. And in order to do that, so the Court of Appeal has a role to play. He put Moise Katumbi aside. We know the story how things went wrong for no reason. And now it's a time for Muzito, and recently came up with a document presenting a CV of Etienne Tshisekedi saying that he did some studies in Belgium and that declaration was false. He called for some people from Belgium to come and explain, to come and, I don't know, to talk about it, to comment negatively, and he put that program on national TV in order to discredit him, to start to tell the Congolese who are members of UDPS, you know, to wash their brain, letting them know that your candidate is not a valid one. And finally, it will be the turn of maybe Kamere Vital. Even though he has started, because he said Vital Kamere is a Rwandan. They have said Vital Kamere, on his document, he has got the name of Vital and so on. And Vital Kamere has exhibited, he has shown to people his diplomas. And he said, if you want you people who talk, you journalists, go everywhere and ask. Do your investigation and find out from the universities where he studies, the primary schools where he attended, they will tell you. if really my diplomas or my name was Vital Kamere, or I used to have Kamere and all other Congolese name since I was young. And that battle is just to try to push those leaders aside. Once those leaders aside, as you may know, the population will stand up like, no, we are not going to the election without our leaders. There will be this type of revolution. And when a revolution will take place, Kabila will say this is a good opportunity for not having the election. So we have to bring peace first in the country, and after peace, then we can restart again, and you'll continue to reign. You'll continue to be there. You'll continue to govern. That's one side of the page. But if we turn the page now, there comes another story. And the other story now is about that machine that they have been using for voting machine. The population have been saying no to that machine. But Kabila and his puppet, they believe that machine must be used. In case that machine is not used for the election, then the election will never and ever take place. With the population, we have said no, but they continue to force us to use that machine. And that machine will be used in voting centers. We know that they have prepared this machine to be used in voting centers. But I'll ask for our fellow Congolese, my fellow Congolese, to continue to say no to that machine. Because we all know that even if we go to vote with those machines, we are going to lose the election. We will never win. We will never win. No, 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 N-O-N, as they say in French, N-O in English. We will never win. We will lose those elections. So to say no to those machines, what you have to do, if we cannot get the opportunity to destroy them upon their arrivals, is to block the roads, the ways which lead to those voting centers. So no one should go to the voting center. Youth, they can stand, burn the tires, block the road, block the ways to lead there. And we'll see who should go. If we don't do so, if we just say, no, we are not going to vote, and stay home, those of majority, presidential majority, those of Kabila, they will go to vote, then they'll proclaim the results. They'll say, a number of people have voted anyway, and this is the result. And they will win the election. So it will be better to block. No one should go to the election. First of all, the 23rd of December should be like a dead day, a day where everybody, people should strike, stay home, no work that day. Even those who are paid, who are employed by CENI to go and use the machines that day, they should stay home. And in order to do that, whenever the youth will wake up in the morning, whenever the population will say no, and they will barricade, they will block the road for people to not go to the centers, even the workers won't attend the centers. So no one will be there. And we'll see how Kabila will send millions of policemen to spread them all over the country to open the road for people to go to voting centers. And because of that, there will be a confrontation between the police and the population. No one will go to the center because of fear. No one will go to the center because the police also will have another duty to do, is to remove the tires on the street or to push people to release others to go to vote. It won't work for them. It will be a fiasco. It will be a disaster. They will fail. And after failing, Kabila may clap his hand and say, yes, no voting, I'm a winner. But that won't be the end. We'll pass to another point, another stage. And the second stage will be to go now. We'll demonstrate. The demonstration will start upon the police intervening. And that the demonstration will lead you and I to the office of the government, especially the office of the governor or the presidential cabinet, where the president works. Go there as people did in Libya, as people did in Egypt, as people did in many countries in the northern part of Africa. Block those offices, no entry, no exit. We will stay there for days, for months if necessary, asking now for Kabila to quit, to force him to quit the power. to ask the governors, his government, to quit the power. And all of them will quit. And whenever he gives the order to army, whenever he gives any order to the army to fire on people, the army should also act as the army did in Zimbabwe. They will tell him, boss, you are the boss, you were the boss, but now you are not anymore the boss. We lock you in a house, you are not getting out of here. And during that time, we will have a government of transition. We can ask for Kabila to quit and have a government of transition to take over from that moment. So the 23rd of December should be a day of a change, a day that will have the Congolese true transition that the people of the Congo will fight for and will call in. And I can tell you, if all of us are out, if all our people are out, the entire world will be shaken. Even those white people, those Europeans, those Americans, those Asians who hide themselves behind those politicians, they will see that the people of the Congo are mad. Around this time, they will bow down. Because no one can control the population. As you know, the best weapon to change the government is the population. Whenever the population stand up, nothing can stop them. Nothing can tell them to sit down. So revolution is necessary. Without revolution, France today could not be France. Without revolution today, many countries around the world, they couldn't be what or whoever they are today. So it's our turn now to stand up. Stand up for the fight. Stand up for the freedom. To stand up for our country, our future generation, our children, our parents, our grandparents also. If we don't speak loud, no one will speak loud at our place. And of course, Kabila has accused all of those leaders. Jean-Pierre Bemba, look, he has got a problem at his court, in La Haye. How many problems does Kabila have himself? How many people has he killed so far? How many people has he kidnapped so far? How many people has he bribed so far? Including some members of the opposition, he bribed them. But he accuses them. If we look at the case of Moise Katumbi, oh, Moise Katumbi is a foreigner. Good. But what about your Kabila? Is Kabila a Congolese? Really? Is Kabila really a Congolese? You know the reality. He's not. If they can say, okay, Moise Katumbi, he's just a businessman. Isn't Kabila a businessman? He is. If you look on the other side, okay, Muzito has done what he has done. He quitted Palu and so on. Kabila also quitted the party that Kabila Laurent Bro came with, FDLR. No. AFDL, sorry. AFDL, not FDLR, is another political party for rebellious movement. AFDL. He came with AFDL. Where is AFDL today? So, Tshisekedi said, okay, Tshisekedi has exhibited document which is not good. What about you, Kabila? What document have you shown to us? How many times have you falsified things? Have you falsified documents? We know there are proofs everywhere. So it's good whenever you are applying the law to other side, but not to yourself. Turn around, turn the thumb to yourself. And look yourself in the mirror, comparing to all those opposition leaders. You are the worst one compared to them. And of course, he put there Shadari to be the representative for the presidential majority. How many people has Shadari killed? How many people Shadari has kidnapped? He was working as a minister of internal affairs. How many wrong things did he do with the secret services of the country? All Congolese people know that. But we'll see how often they are accusing the opposition, and members of the opposition cannot open their mouths to accuse them back. Maybe as a sister wrote here, maybe because they were bribed, they have already been corrupt by themselves. And the fact of being corrupted, you can speak up. But we should look ahead. If they are accused, why can't also they accuse Shadari? They cannot accuse Kabila or accuse other political actors who have been used as satellite opposition leaders. So look where we are going. The situation is getting worse. The situation is getting out of hand. The opposition is not united. You are not united, people of the opposition. Everybody wants to stand for himself or herself. Kabila has created the division, and the division continues to be seen. Kamere suggested to you, let us find a common candidate, one candidate for the opposition, to stand for all of us. But they don't want that. People don't want that. So you Congolese, tell your leader, all consequences of these elections will fall upon us. We'll be the victim of all the mistakes that they have been doing. We should push them to unite. We should encourage them to unite so that we can go to the voting. And when we go to the voting, we should never and ever accept the voting machine. That I call the stealing machine. That stealing machine shouldn't be there. And in case they insist it has to be, then we'll demonstrate and ask for the departure of Kabila. Not simple to say, no, we want a vote, but we don't need a vote anymore, and we don't need Kabila anymore. And that will lead us to a transition. And after the transition, those who are outside, Bemba and others, Katumbi and so on, if they will qualify to postulate, they can come back and postulate. If you qualify also, if I qualify, we can all be there and postulate to become also candidate for the presidential. Dear brother, dear sister, I will stop from here to say thank you very much for your time. Our Congo should remain one, should remain strong, should remain united, unified, and we should live with love. Let's forget about our, I belong to such political party, I belong to such tribe. Let us live together, stick together like glue. Let us glue our heart, our mind, our beliefs, our love for our country together. Then we'll be winners. Don't expect God to come down from heaven to come and fight for us. No. As I usually say, we are called to fight. And God has even, used to tell the people of Israel, go to the fight and I will give you victory. But you have to go to the fight first. You have to stand up and fight yourselves. Then a victory will come from me. So you and I, we have to stand up and go for a fight. I encourage you, I urge you to stand and go for a fight. You are not fighting for losing, but you are fighting to liberate, to free your country. We need our country to be free. Our resources to be free. Our minds to be free. Our lives to be free. Our future also to be free. No one will do that. Not the MONUSCO will do it. Neither any European country or African country will do it for you. MONUSCO has been there for 20 years now, or more than 20 years. As I said in the French version, with a budget of more than $13 billion per year, while the Congolese people, the entire nation of the Congo, their yearly budget is of $4 billion only. Looking at the population of the Congo compared to MONUSCO, you can tell the story. Why can't we swap? Let the Congolese people have a budget of 13 billion because we are large, and MONUSCO, which is a small portion of people, small number of people, they should have the 4 billion. But because they are there for their own interest, they would never and ever accept such a proposition. And they have been there for 20 years plus to maintain peace in the Congo while the situation is getting out of control every single day, from bad to worse. So what is their role in that country? Just showing us their uniforms that they wear every day, driving around those white tanks? Is that all that they are doing for us? Of course, they can do small items which are senseless, excuse me the term, but we need to see a great change. And that great change is to see the MONUSCO maybe quitting that country, leaving the Congo. Or again, bringing peace. If they are peacemakers, they are peace bringers, let them bring it back. That's all that we need. All right, my dear brothers and sisters, thank you so much for your time and thank you for watching my program. And I will be with you again tomorrow. If this is your first time to watch us, click the button to subscribe yourself. And if you watch us from time to time, in order to not miss an opportunity, click the bell which is down there, and whenever I'm on air, you'll be alerted and you can watch us straightforward. And once again, if you like our program, why not to put a thumb up so that you can encourage us also to continue. Once again, thank you very much for everything. May God bless the Congo. May God bless you, Congolese man, Congolese woman, Congolese child. And I can tell you, I'm optimistic, and I can tell you that Congo will never be divided. We'll stay united and will remain one. Thank you very much, and see you next time.